Welcome to another edition of In Focus. My name is Bob Perreault, and I'm very pleased to have with us via Zoom today Andrew Jahn, who is a performer, a singer and songwriter, I do believe, who will be putting on a special benefit concert to assist the Rural FASD, a group that we've talked about many times that helps get people together and looks for support for those who are who are raising children who have fetal alcohol spectrum disorder and also young adults. It's such a wonderful group. We've talked about it many times. Andrew, thank you so much for being here.
Thank you, Bob. I'm really happy to be here today.
Did I get that right? Singer songwriter? I know you're a performer.
Yeah, I'm a singer-songwriter, a piano teacher, and a developmental service worker.
That's wow. What a
Yeah,
what a title. Your business card must be like 3 feet long.
kind of keep it very short.
Exactly. Well, let's explore the musician part of it. Tell us a little bit about your music, how you got into music, and what people can expect at the show.
Yeah, so I got my first piano when I was 14. So I've been playing piano since Tuesday, November 25th, 2009 at 4:09 p.m.
Wow.
Yeah, it was a very momentous day for me. So I've been playing. I'm classically trained. I have a level 10 RCM certificate, and I will be pursuing the Royal Conservatory ARC diploma in the next couple of years. I'm a classically trained singer and also a pop trained singer. So my music is very much like this kind of cinematic pop with a lot of like classical instrumentals in it.
Wow.
I also like to do Latin pop. I love Latin EDM pop. It's like my favorite.
That is so cool. I can't even begin to ask you where your inspirations are because it sounds like if I say, what are your inspirations, you're just going to say music.
Oh yeah. Well, my inspiration for music, I think for pop, Sia is actually my all-time favorite pop singer. I love Sia music. She's got that like kind of orchestral sound, but it's very bubblegummy pop. If we're talking like classical music, I love Chopin and Liszt. So if you take like that Chopin Liszt classical style and like mix it with that bubblegum pop, that's what I really like to write and record.
You can tell me if I'm wrong because Sia's music and the classical music that you describe, you're a fan of arrangements, if I'm not mistaken, and making sure that the different parts of the music work together. Because I've always found that about Sia's music. I've been a fan of music production, and that's why I love all types of music myself. But Sia, I've always found, like her music is very interestingly arranged. Like it's pop, but there's a complexity to it.
Well, that's what I love about it. And when you listen to that, you get this like humongous emotional release too, right? You're like whatever she felt when she wrote that, she just like ripped it out of me. Like it just comes out of you. And
It's
that's I
really
love to write like that. You're like, here's this like this song's an angry song. Here it is. It's all wrapped up nicely, but it's so intricate. It's still 3 minutes long, like a typical pop song, but it just to pull stuff out of you. It's supposed to be like emotionally healing for people who listen to it. And that's what I love about Sia's music too.
it's really interesting because we're both fans of that type of music. But I mean, I couldn't string together four notes on a piano or any other instrument for that. I can't even play the triangle. But yet we can still have that kind of appreciation from two very different perspectives, and it really sounds like they're in for quite a show.
Oh yeah. Well, even my producer Josh, I work with Josh Hart Recordings in Ottawa, and he's kind of like that. He plays a lot of instruments, but when he gets at that mixing pad, it's like it's so amazing. You can like there's so many different ways to make music, right? Playing instruments and then mixing it and producing it and even just understanding it. It's amazing. There's a spot for everybody.
Where are you from?
I'm actually from Elmont, Ontario, and I still live in Elmont. So
Fantastic.
it's a beautiful town. I don't see myself leaving anytime soon.
That's the way that towns across Lanark County, certainly, and Leeds and Grenville for that matter, certainly suck us in, and we want to just stay here. There's no doubt about it. So, how did you get involved with the rural FASD?
I've actually known Rob and Shelley Moore, who founded it, I think for a good, I've known them since I was 13, so a good like 13, 14 years. So we met them at church. I actually met them before they adopted their youngest son, Jacob. So I've known them for a long time, and I used to run the youth ministry program at Holy Name of Mary Parish, where we went together, and their kids started attending the group, and then working with their kids, and then Shelly got me working with other kids. So it just happened. We started out as friends at church, and then they thought I was really good at working with their kids, so they're like, we need to get you a job in this field. And that's how that started. So when they started the group, they said we need you to come work with our boys. So that's how that happened.
Did that spark your educational pursuits as well?
Oh, it definitely, yeah, because Shelly Moore is actually a career developer, right? So she always pokes me. She's like, "Oh, look, here's this program. You should apply to it." So that definitely they definitely got me into this whole industry.
When you were going over your list of what you are and what you do, you said a musician, composer, singer, songwriter, and there was a quote unquote professional title in there. What was that?
Oh yeah, developmental service worker. So that's what I do when I work with kids that have fetal alcohol. I also work with oppositional defiant, autism spectrum, and ADHD. So I work with quite a range of disabilities and disorders.
Well, first and foremost, thank you for doing that because that's incredible work to be doing. Uh, you must get so inspired by the kids you work with.
Oh, 100%. When I actually used to have really bad Tourette's syndrome, so that was the other thing. It's actually mostly gone now. You almost never notice it. The odd little eye thing I'll do, but that was the other thing that got me into it. Because kids would see that and they'd be like, "Oh, it's just like me." And I'd be twitching with them and they'd be doing whatever they need to do, you know?
Yeah,
So they've inspired me quite a bit, and I've always kind of remembered that.
it's really interesting. You talk about the humble beginnings of the rural FASD, and they're still a very humble group. But just to see them grow and to see how it has increased in size and importance and really in value to the community over the years is incredible. What's it like to have been a part of that almost since day one?
I actually find it very fascinating because I didn't even know about fetal alcohol before I met the Moore family. And I don't even think they knew a lot about it until their children got diagnosed. And there's so many people you talk to people and they're like, "Oh yeah, I had an uncle with that." But it's like it's almost like a secret because nobody knew what it was. But just to see that it's coming into the awareness and that there's actually help for people now and people are living good lives. And we're kind of breaking down all that stigma surrounding it and just bringing it to the light and seeing what their organization is doing for children and families, and they're bringing so much hope to all these people. It's incredible actually to see how it went from this small everybody was struggling alone and now together we're building a really big community.
It's really important too, and Rob stresses this every time we speak with him that this can happen to anybody. People who don't even know that they're pregnant, who are having a couple of drinks casually. Next thing you know, their child is born. They find out they're pregnant. Their child is born with fetal alcohol spectrum disorder, and then it's through no fault of their own. It's not like they didn't take precautions and so on. It is not just people who are willingly and knowingly drinking when they're pregnant, right?
Oh yeah, it's just I mean you go to any party and there's always alcohol, right? So if you don't realize you're 2 weeks pregnant, you're not thinking about it. So it's actually it's a very easy thing to have happen. That's why we always take the approach of compassion, right? So we're not shaming anybody or blaming anybody. We're just looking at what we're dealing with and trying to find solutions to help the individual with fetal alcohol to become their best self, right?
Absolutely. Like any other organization, there are costs that come along with the things that they do. They host activities, they have meetings, they have workshops, they bring in special guests. It's really just amazing. The multitude of experiences people who are involved with the rural FASD will have. But of course, it's always nice to raise some money. So that's where you come in this situation. You obviously have played a large role in others, but in this situation, you are holding this benefit concert that is going to be in early June, right?
Yes, yes, June 4th at St. Francis de Sales Parish. So the big idea about because I'm launching a music studio social enterprise, and the big idea with this is that we not only raise money for specific causes, but we also involve the people in the cause. So one of the issues when you have a disability like fetal alcohol is getting employment, right? We're trying to get people skills to get them employment. So instead of just raising money and giving it to charity and stuff. My idea is that you actually bring the people in. So for this specific concert, we're providing employment to people with FASD, and we're also giving some of the money back to the organization to help them. So we'll be having youth with FASD. They'll be taking the tickets at the door. They'll be providing refreshments. They'll be helping set up the concert, like doing all the stage stuff with me. So it's just like it's just this big involved project, and that's kind of my dream, right? We're not just raising money, we're really pulling people in. We're creating jobs, right? That's what I want to do with this. And we're just making music together too, and bringing awareness to FASD because there's still a lot of people who don't really know what it is, right? Or that there's even help to get.
I think a lot of it too is people who don't understand, like the part of the conversation that we just had. And events like this concert and speaking to members of the rural FASD certainly can help wipe away that stigma. So, yeah, pretty exciting. What is the actual date and time of the concert, sir?
Yeah, so the date is Saturday, June 4th at 7 p.m. Doors open at 6:30. You can purchase tickets on my website at 8vamusic.net.
And really, we're going to put up the entire link that will take you directly to the part of that website where you can find tickets for it. How much are the tickets, sir?
The tickets are $15, and 30% will be going back to the Real FASD Support Network to support their programs.
That's fantastic. Okay, so there you go. It's coming up. You said June 5th?
June 4th, Saturday, June 4th.
And at St. Francis de Sales Parish in Smiths Falls.
Yeah, I forget the street address, but it's on Elmsley Street.
Absolutely. Everybody in Smith Falls knows exactly where that is. They have a big new parking lot next to it. So plenty of
Oh
parking.
no, I haven't seen the parking lot yet.
Yeah, plenty of parking there. That's for sure. Listen, Andrew, it's been a pleasure to speak with you. I really appreciate you coming in, and we'll learn more about this concert as the date approaches. Again, just thanks so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much, Bob. I really appreciate the opportunity to share about our concert.
You're very welcome. Our guest today on In Focus, Andrew Jahn. He will be hosting this benefit concert. He'll be putting it on coming up on June 4th at St. Francis de Sales Parish. We have got the link for tickets up on our website shortly. Just click on this interview, and in the description, you'll find that link. I'm Bob Perreault. Thanks so much for listening. Have a wonderful afternoon.